Welcome to the Biltmore Estate, America's largest privately owned home, nestled in the picturesque Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. This monumental estate is not just a house, it's a living piece of history, a symbol of luxury, ambition, and architectural grandeur. With its sprawling grounds, stunning gardens, and over 250 rooms, the Biltmore is a testament to the vision of George Washington Vanderbilt II, who dreamed of creating a grand estate that would be a true reflection of his wealth, taste, and love for nature. As you step onto the estate, you're not just visiting a historic mansion, you're walking into a world where history and opulence merge. The Biltmore Estate is more than just the largest private home in the United States. It's an experience, inviting visitors to explore the rich tapestry of Vanderbilt's legacy, the innovative designs of the mansion, and the lush, breathtaking beauty of its 8,000-acre property. Join us as we take you through the gates of this iconic estate, uncovering the fascinating story of how it was built, the family who made it home, and the lasting influence it has had on the American landscape. Let's dive into the grandeur of the Biltmore, where every corner holds a story and every room echoes with the history of a bygone era. Let me know when you're ready for the first section. You said Section 1, ChatGPT said. Section 1, the vision behind the Biltmore Estate. The story of the Biltmore Estate begins with the vision of one man, George Washington Vanderbilt II. Born into the wealthy Vanderbilt family, George had the privilege of being part of one of the richest families in 19th century America. Despite his family's vast wealth, George wasn't interested in the bustling life of New York City. Instead, he sought peace and solitude, and in the scenic mountains of North Carolina, he found the perfect location to build a home that would reflect his tastes and values. In 1888, Vanderbilt purchased 125,000 acres of land in the Blue Ridge Mountains. His dream was to create a home that was not only luxurious but also self-sustaining. He envisioned a retreat that would allow him to immerse himself in nature while still enjoying the comforts of modern life. The result of his dream was the Biltmore Estate, a massive mansion surrounded by vast gardens, woodlands, and vineyards. The architectural style of the Biltmore was inspired by the grand estates of Europe, particularly those of France and England. Vanderbilt enlisted the help of renowned architect Richard Morris Hunt to bring his vision to life. Hunt had previously worked on several high-profile buildings, including the Statue of Liberty's pedestal, and he was tasked with designing a home that would rival any palace. The design was influenced by the French chateau style, combining elements of Renaissance, Gothic, and Baroque architecture. Construction on the Biltmore began in 1889, and Vanderbilt spared no expense. The mansion itself, with its 250 rooms, was designed to be a symbol of wealth and status. It would be the largest privately owned house in the United States, standing as a testament to Vanderbilt's ambition and desire to leave a lasting legacy. The house took 6 years to build, and its construction involved hundreds of workers, skilled craftsmen, and architects who worked tirelessly to create a masterpiece. While the Biltmore was being built, George Vanderbilt also focused on creating a self-sufficient estate. He planted miles of vineyards, developed lush gardens, and established a working farm to supply the mansion with food. At the same time, he made sure that the Biltmore was equipped with the latest technologies of the time, including an advanced heating system, a refrigeration unit, and electric lighting, all innovations that made the estate even more impressive. By 1895, the Biltmore Estate was completed, standing as a symbol of not only Vanderbilt's personal wealth, but also his forward-thinking vision. The mansion, surrounded by 8,000 acres of beautiful land, was a place where art, nature, and science coexisted. It was a place where George Vanderbilt could retreat from the world and indulge in the things that mattered most to him: his love of architecture, his admiration for European culture, and his commitment to conservation and sustainability. The Biltmore Estate was not just a home, it was a statement. It was an expression of a man's dream to create something that would stand the test of time, a home that would become a part of America's heritage and history. Today, it remains one of the most impressive private estates in the world, attracting visitors from all over to admire its grandeur, history, and the timeless beauty of its surroundings. Let me know when you're ready for the next section. You said Section 2. ChatGPT said Section 2, the magnificent architecture of the Biltmore Estate. The Biltmore Estate is not just a house, it's a work of art, a masterpiece that combines European elegance with American innovation. Designed by the renowned architect Richard Morris Hunt, the mansion's architecture is one of its most captivating features. From the moment you approach the estate, its grandeur is impossible to ignore. The sheer scale of the house, 250 rooms spread across 4 floors, astonishes visitors and showcases Vanderbilt's ambition to create something unlike any other home in the United States. The mansion was designed in the French chateau style, reminiscent of the palaces of France's Loire Valley. Hunt incorporated elements from various architectural periods, blending Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque influences. The result is a building that feels both timeless and majestic, with its steeply pitched roofs, large windows, and imposing stone walls. It's easy to see why the Biltmore is often referred to as America's castle. One of the most striking features of the mansion is its exterior, made from a combination of local sandstone and limestone. The stone gives the house a rugged, natural feel that complements its surrounding landscape. As you walk around the estate, you'll notice how the mansion seems to rise organically from the earth, blending with the hills and trees around it. This integration with nature was a key part of George Vanderbilt's vision for the estate. He wanted the house to feel like a natural extension of the land, and Hunt's design achieved that goal. Inside the mansion, visitors are treated to an opulent display of luxury. The grand entrance hall, with its soaring ceilings and sweeping staircase, immediately conveys the wealth and grandeur of the estate. The room features a massive stone fireplace and intricate woodwork, with vaulted ceilings that give it an almost cathedral-like quality. The hall leads into the expansive rooms of the estate, each more magnificent than the last. The library, one of the most famous rooms in the Biltmore, is a perfect example of Vanderbilt's love of art and learning. With its towering shelves filled with thousands of books, the library is a place of intellectual refuge, offering a quiet escape for Vanderbilt and his guests. The room also features exquisite wood paneling and a stunning ceiling painted with intricate designs. The library's rich dark tones and soft lighting create an atmosphere of warmth and sophistication. One of the most notable innovations of the Biltmore Estate was its modern amenities. Vanderbilt was determined to make the Biltmore as comfortable as it was grand, so he spared no expense in outfitting the house with the latest technologies of the time. The mansion was one of the first in America to have electricity, and Vanderbilt even installed an advanced heating system, ensuring the estate was comfortable year-round. The kitchens were state-of-the-art, with a refrigeration system that was a marvel at the time. Perhaps one of the most remarkable aspects of the Biltmore's architecture is the attention to detail that can be found in every room. From the intricate carvings on the woodwork to the beautifully crafted stained glass windows, no expense was spared in creating a home that was as luxurious as it was functional. Each room was designed to showcase the Vanderbilt family's wealth and taste, with period furniture, tapestries, and artwork carefully selected to complement the estate's overall aesthetic. Outside the mansion, the estate's gardens are equally impressive. Designed by landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted, who also designed Central Park in New York City, the gardens surrounding the Biltmore are a blend of formal and natural beauty. Olmsted's design features perfectly manicured lawns, flower beds, and a carefully planned layout that enhances the mansion's beauty. The estate's vast grounds also include a forest, a pond, and vineyards, which were part of Vanderbilt's commitment to self-sufficiency. The Biltmore Estate's architecture, with its mix of classic European styles and American innovation, remains one of the most impressive and important architectural feats in the United States. It stands as a testament to George Washington Vanderbilt II's vision, his wealth, and his desire to create a home that would be remembered for generations to come. The Biltmore Estate is not just a grand home. It is the story of the Vanderbilt family, particularly George Washington Vanderbilt II, who dreamed of creating this masterpiece, and the legacy of the family who lived there. Life at the Biltmore was one of elegance, luxury, and exclusivity, a reflection of both George's tastes and the prominence of the Vanderbilt name. George Washington, Vanderbilt was born into one of the wealthiest families in America. His grandfather, Cornelius Vanderbilt, amassed a fortune in shipping and railroads, making the Vanderbilt family one of the richest in the United States by the late 19th century. However, unlike his father and brothers who were heavily involved in the family business, George was more of an intellectual. He enjoyed reading, art, and travel, which were passions that deeply influenced the creation of the Biltmore Estate. George's decision to build the Biltmore was not just about wealth. It was about creating a legacy that would represent his love for nature, architecture, and culture. He made the estate his personal sanctuary, a place where he could escape the pressures of high society and immerse himself in his intellectual pursuits. Though George was deeply involved in the design and construction of the estate, the home was also a space where he could host lavish gatherings for the elite of society. The mansion became a popular retreat for influential guests, including artists, politicians, and business leaders. Life at the Biltmore was a blend of family, intellectual activity, and extravagant social life. The Vanderbilt family lived in the Biltmore until the early 20th century. Following George's death in 1914, his widow, Edith, and their daughter, Cornelia, continued to reside there. While George had built the estate to be a personal haven, the mansion took on an even greater role after his passing. Edith and Cornelia worked to preserve the estate, ensuring that it remained a symbol of the Vanderbilt legacy. Cornelia Vanderbilt, George's only child, was the last of the Vanderbilt family to live in the mansion. She married John Francis Amherst Cecil, and together they continued the tradition of hosting grand events at the Biltmore. However, after Cornelia's death in 1976, the estate's future became uncertain. The Vanderbilt family faced mounting financial pressures, and the mansion was no longer sustainable for a private family to maintain. In the 20th century, the Biltmore Estate underwent a transformation from a private home to a public landmark. To preserve the mansion, the estate was open to the public, allowing visitors to experience the grandeur and history that had once been reserved for a select few. Today, the estate is managed by the Biltmore Company, a private organization that continues to operate the estate as a family-owned business. This shift to public ownership was crucial in ensuring that the Biltmore Estate remained intact, both as a historical landmark and as a living museum. During its transformation into a public space, the Biltmore Estate underwent extensive restoration work. The Biltmore Company worked to preserve the mansion's original beauty, ensuring that the architecture, furnishings, and gardens were maintained as they were when the Vanderbilt family lived there. The estate's gardens, designed by landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted, have been carefully nurtured and expanded, keeping with the original vision of blending formal and natural landscapes. The legacy of the Vanderbilt